Are you excited and ready to attract love into your life in 2020? Then check out this video. Hey there, this is Michele Ariana with Empower Your Love Life, and today I'm going to be talking about my origin story. All the reasons why I am so passionate and excited about bringing teachings about love and attracting and manifesting divine partnership. I know this has been such a journey for me, and I want to take you along on the ride so you can kind of get a sense of where I started and why I am now about to launch my latest program called Manifest, 10 Proven Steps on How to Call in Your Man Using the Ultimate Law of Attraction. Okay, so here's my backstory. Here's the journey that I went on in order to attract in divine partnership. You may call it twin flame love, soulmate love, the one. I have since evolved my definition of what that means, but this has been such a profound and powerful experience for me that I wanted to be able to share it with you. And, you know, I don't know where you're at in this process. You could be just starting out on your path of attracting love and bringing in your partner. Perhaps you've been on this journey for a while and maybe haven't had so much luck. Maybe you've kind of had been beat down with this process, dating, not really finding the one, kind of attracting just the wrong partners that don't really feel like they connect with you. Maybe you've been divorced or you've gone through a breakup and you've had to really manage some challenging emotions. Wherever you are in this process, please know that I am honored to be able to support you and give you that space of alignment and possibility of what is possible for you in your life. Because I know if you're watching this video, then there is a song in your heart, a craving in your soul, a calling somewhere deep inside of you that you know you are deeply desiring and destined for great love on this planet. In fact, you may even feel like it's part of your purpose. It's who you are. Maybe you have a big mission on the planet or a big purpose, and you know that calling in this partnership is going to be super supportive with that. You'll support him, he'll support you. Maybe you just have this deep desire for connection that you've always known has been there, and having that kind of partnership and experience is really what your soul is calling. Maybe there are little being souls, children's souls who are calling you forth. You know and sense their presence, and so you coming together in this partnership is going to help bring them to life. Whatever might be driving you, I know this is important to you. This area is so important to you. You're a badass woman. I know you are. You have success in so many other areas of life. And perhaps this is the one area where you are ready and determined to get a hold of. No longer are you available for whatever disempowerment has been going on in this area of life. I get the sense that if you're watching this, you're ready to call in that kind of partnership, align yourself with love, deepen into self-love, and literally manifest that partner in your life. So I hear you, girl, and I am honored to support you. So a little bit about my background and kind of where I started from. So literally coming into the planet as a kid, I was super passionate and sexual. I just remember being around 4 years old, and I would watch movies or TV, and I would think boys were attractive. I would think actors were attractive, and I would say oh, he's my boyfriend, or he's my boyfriend. I remember my first boyfriend as a kid. I was 4 years old, and I was in love with Danny Kaye. He's an actor from the 40s and 50s, so a bit of an older gentleman. However, as a kid, I don't know, I just felt this sense of love and passion. I was uninhibited, unbridled at that early age. Around that time, my parents divorced, and so I, had to grow through the growing pains of what any child might grow through with a divorce and all that comes with it. But it still didn't detract me. I never went through the boys are icky stage. I remember in first grade, I had my first real boy crush, in like a live human, not an actor, and his name was Michael. I would journal about him every day. My girlfriends and I would play house. We would fight over who Michael would be the husband of. And we'd have Michael 1 and Michael 2. So, I mean, I never went through any kind of phase of not feeling love or feeling attraction. I loved love at an early age, and I would be such a romantic. I would listen to love songs. But around first grade, I started comparing myself to other women, especially maybe around Michael or so. I started inviting in self-doubt, not on purpose, but as I reflected back on my journal entries, at an early age, at first grade, I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel that that Michael would like me. And so kind of introducing all the limiting beliefs back then. Fast forward to, I'd say, about 5th grade or so, some external bullying started happening. I was made fun of for my looks, and so the external bullying turned into internal bullying, and I became my own worst critic. I couldn't tell anyone, but I would go home and I would pick myself apart. I mean, I so desperately wanted love and to be loved and to have boyfriends, but I was the ugly duckling, or so I saw it. No one liked me like that, and so I just felt so shameful and hated myself. So further deepening into low self-esteem, specifically with men, you could see the walls that I built were ironclad. Paired that with a couple of other divorces with my parents that kind of came to fruition, I just started putting walls up around love and almost pushing it away. Pair that with being a child of the 80s, growing up with AIDS, STD, all that in the news that scared the crap out of me. Pregnancy, early age pregnancy, knowing people who got pregnant young. I was terrified, and so I equated love with fear. So this one thing, this passion and just feeling of igniting that spark of love within me that I came into the planet with slowly started to get covered up and shielded, and walls were built. So I didn't really have any, as you could imagine, any boyfriends all through high school for the most part. I started dating in college, and about halfway through my 20s, I met a man, fell deeply in love, and an incredible man, and we had a fabulous relationship. We were together 7 years. Both of us were very hesitant about marriage. We were afraid of marriage, pretty much, because we didn't want to get a divorce like our parents, and both of us said emphatically we would never get married. But you know what? After a few years, we just decided we wanted to supersede that, rise above it, and experience our relationship to the next level. And so we took a chance, and we committed fully, and we were aligned, and we believed we were armed and ready to tackle it all. And so we got married. Now, I mean, at an external level, I wanted this love, this powerhouse couple. That's kind of what I was seeking, I think, my whole life. And I wanted that kind of connection, and marriage seemed like a great idea. Now, granted, I had a lot, not knowing that then, but looking back now, I had a lot of pain and hurt and repressed energy, and just the walls that I had built up. I still hadn't healed any of that. I went into the relationship with those limiting beliefs that I, again, didn't know about. But I think at a deep level, I think at more internally, what others didn't really know is that I wanted just that deep desire for love and connection. I wanted that support. I wanted to feel supported. And I wanted to feel feminine. I think because of all the walls I built, and especially hating myself for so long, having low self-esteem, putting up the walls around fear of love and sex and pregnancy and all this, and relationships, I believe that, I think at my deepest core level, I wanted to feel feminine. I wanted to drop the armor, let go of the shackles, and just be uninhibited and feminine with my my divine masculine partner. And so anyway, we got married, and it was great for a little bit, but as with anything, I started growing and changing. I came into personal growth and development, and he was changing too. We both were learning and growing, but what happened was we grew apart. And so we hit this wall. Like, here, all that I had wanted and was seeking and thought I attracted and manifested, now this marriage was like, I was so unhappy, and he was unhappy towards the last probably year. I mean, we fought a lot, and we both are amazing people, but I look back and I was like, wow, I had a lot of healing to do, and I didn't know it. And so our desires and dreams really grew apart. Big, and I'm talking about game-changing desires, like one wanted to have kids and the other didn't. The way we viewed life and finances and our missions and, you know, things like that, where it made it harder to ignore, because then staying together meant someone's dreams weren't being met or were ever going to be met. And so that was a really hard realization, a really sad and trying time. A lot of grief, a lot of judgment on myself. And then we had to face divorce. And so it was a really tough time. I was just, I didn't know what to do. And so after the divorce, I knew I needed to get clear. I took 7 months off, but during that period of time, right after the divorce, I took 7 months off from dating, just because I knew I had healing and aligning to do. But right after the divorce, I got really clear. I decided to kind of make a love journal. Like, what were all the amazing things that I had in my marriage and in past relationships? And I wrote those down. What are additional things I would like to add and evolve my being in a relationship? What are things that I got clarity on that I would want to shift? And so I put together this love journal really clear. I mean, I really knew that my mind needed that kind of like focus. And I not only wrote down like characteristics I wanted in a partner and like attributes, but also what we were doing together, how we were showing up as a couple. And ultimately, I wrote down what feelings I would be feeling, what emotions. And shortly thereafter, I went to a girlfriend's wedding up in New York, and it was right after the divorce, so it was still new and raw. I'm scrolling through Facebook a day before her wedding, and all of a sudden I see something that says Twin Flame. It caught my eye, and so I was like, what is Twin Flame? So as I started reading the tenets of what this person published about what Twin Flame was, this excitement started to grow in my belly. I was reading exactly what I'd been feeling, that there's this divine partnership out there, that because I knew, even though my husband and I divorced, I wanted him to have great love and I wanted to have great love. I didn't think it was the end for us. I knew that there was some divine reason we were separating, and that I wanted for both of us to have just exponential love. And I knew for myself that there was a partner out there that was going to be aligned with my mission and my vision and my dreams, and I was going to help support him because he has a big vision and mission on the planet, and he was going to support me, and there was this coming together and union that would like ignite and like just freaking blow up our creativity and who we are. And as I'm reading this Twin Flame description, I was like, holy shit, this is it. I had never heard a name called Twin Flame, but everything about Twin Flame, minus a couple of things. There were some things I didn't agree with about some like things that happen in a Twin Flame partnership. I kind of disregarded that, but I now knew, I had this epiphany finally. I realized that what I had been desiring and craving throughout my life and throughout my relationships was this existed. It existed within me, and love was possible for me. With aligning my frequency and releasing limiting beliefs, this was possible. This next level evolved relationship was absolutely possible. And I mean, it set me off on like this massive journey. I didn't know what to do, because here I was like, just read this and I was like, oh my God, I am manifesting my twin flame. It was like, it's like the energy, the way I saw an image of it is like this red flame and this blue flame coming together. One is whole, the other's whole, and together they just make this amazing blaze of passion and fire and creativity. And so I set out on making a plan. So I added more to my love journal. I got more clear. I started aligning my feelings. I actually wound up selling all my things and moving to Denver, or actually not Denver, north of Denver, Colorado. And I started tuning my frequency, doing a lot of personal growth and development work specifically about relationships. I shifted my thoughts and my words, how I was talking about relationships. Old beliefs were coming up. I was doing a ton of release work, rewiring my thinking, energy clearings. Like, this plan was put together so that I could follow the steps to bring in partnership, to align my frequency. In fact, I used a lot of the same processes that I use, same techniques I used to attract and achieve the goal of becoming a pro NFL cheerleader. I started implementing some of those techniques too, with sensualizing all my emotions, really putting out the image and feeling all of it. I mean, it was amazing. And so shortly after that, actually, I met a man who was so close. I believed he was my twin flame. I mean, I fell hard for this guy. Incredible, amazing man. So many things that embodied what I felt I was looking for. I mean, I tried to make him the one, and it was kind of a total fantasy. Like, I really didn't know him that well. I mean, he's a great man. We started to get to know each other, but I really kind of overlaid my own fantasy and like tried to force I don't know if you've ever done that, but just try to force the characteristics and your desires like onto another person. And so this whole fantasy, I mean, we were kind of talking and getting closer, but a series of events and things happened where it didn't work out, and he had to leave, and I was crushed. Deep inside, on the surface, I just put on a happy face, like, oh, that's okay, it's all good, it was meant to be. I brushed it under the positivity carpet, but I was dying inside. I really felt disappointment and sadness. I had made it out to be so big that it was soul-crushing for me. And that was hard to handle, some of those emotions, and so I repressed them. There was a sadness that came with that, and kind of with repressing them, grief came, and almost like a bit of depressed energy. And I collected myself. I moved again. I wound up moving to San Diego, which was really helpful, but I kind of clung to that fantasy for 2 years of it, hoping it would be him, and I lost myself a bit. I really lost myself, and as I look back now, I realize I had to lose myself in order to find myself and create myself anew. But I started dating, and I met other incredible men, and while they were so beautiful souls that reflected clarity and new desires and love and companionship and contrast even, and while we weren't meant for each other, I know we both are, those partnerships that I had were so beneficial for one another. I finally got to a point where I had struggled so much, and I was hitting another struggle with just guys, and I finally just surrendered. I remember just sitting, because I had flown to the East Coast. I was sitting on my mom's couch at like midnight, and I surrendered, and I started crying. I was like, you know what? I let that guy go, that one guy that I really hadn't let go yet. I let him go. I send him love. I surrendered the attachment to who my divine partner, twin flame, was going to look like, how he was going to come in. And on my mom's couch, I just surrendered. Fell asleep, got up the next day, had to fly back to San Diego with just kind of this new resurged sense of passion and dedication. And I told my roommates when I got home to San Diego, I'm like, all right, I surrendered. I let any energies go, but I am still determined to call in my twin flame, to attract and magnetize my partner. And I know he's out there, and I'm just going to be open. And no joke, girl, when you make a powerful decision and you surrender and allow the universe to show up for you, it does. Because within 1 hour after I said that to my roommates, I got an email from something I had signed up for like 6 months earlier that said, "Are you looking for your twin flame? Join us at our one-day event next Saturday, bring a friend. Calling in your twin flame within 90 days or something like that." And I was like, holy shit, like, this was written for me. So the next day, I decided to sign up for the program. I enrolled, me and my best friend. I wound up canceling my dating service. I was part of a high-end dating service back in San Diego. It really wasn't working out, but I was trying. I was dedicated to calling in partnership, so I wanted to use all my resources, but I canceled that right after. And right after I did that, an interesting thing happened. A man I had met 2 weeks earlier in Denver texted me and said, "Hey Michelle, oh my gosh, I thought I lost your phone number. Let's connect." So interestingly enough, there was this really attractive guy I met, but didn't really think anything of it because he lived in Denver. We really aligned with business and kind of our ideologies and spirituality and mindsets, but he lived in Denver. I wasn't about to do long distance in my mind, so I dismissed it. I frankly just couldn't see it. I couldn't see him. So anyway, my girlfriend and I go to this seminar, the Twin Flame seminar. I wind up hiring Twin Flame coaches, the people that put on the seminar, and it was incredible. I'd say probably a week after that event, I wound up talking to the guy from Denver, Dave, and we had a great conversation. Turns out he was coming into San Diego in a couple weeks. So I was like, oh, great, perfect, we'll connect and, we'll go get lunch or something. Still didn't think anything of it, but as I started doing the work with the Twin Flame coaches for about 3 or 4 weeks, we did a lot more clearing, a lot more aligning, and a lot more letting go. And when that gentleman from Denver, Dave is his name, came into San Diego, it was him. I manifested my divine partner, and I couldn't even see him. I wasn't even a vibrational match yet. I still had to go through a little bit of realigning work to even be able to see him. He had already shown up in my life a month earlier. And yet it was my focus and dedication, and it was all amazing. I mean, and the coolest thing, not only did I call in partnership, but what I realized as Dave and I went on like our first date and then our second date, I was like, you know what? I don't even want to call him my twin flame. This is so good. This is so amazing. I don't even want to taint it with limitation. The word twin flame feels like it's limiting. I don't know how long this is going to last or for what purpose, but this fills my heart and soul like I've never experienced. I'm just going to allow it to be. And so it was interesting. Dave said, he's like, you know what? You create your own definition of twin flame. Call us whatever you want. I love twin flame. Let's make up our own new definition for it. And it was amazing because Dave walked off the pages of my love journal. I quite literally manifested him. Manifested, meaning brought his magnetized and brought this energy in by my focus, attention, and feelings, but manifested, brought in my man. I mean, it was scary. Not scary, it was in a good way, scary in a good way. What I wrote down 2 years earlier and what Dave embodied. I mean, from his height to his eye color to his hair color to his numerology sign. I mean, I got specific. To crazy things like terms of endearment. He would call me. I said in my love journal, I was like, my divine partner is going to call me goddess and queen and all these other terms of endearment. On the second date, Dave called me goddess. Like, that's not really that common of a name that on a second date someone would call you, right? And then the kicker, on our third date, I asked Dave what his Air Force nickname was. And he said, oh, it's silly. He's like, back in the Air Force, when I was younger, I talked like Yoda from Star Wars, and I looked like Luke Skywalker. So my friends all called me Jedi. Now here's the crazy, scary thing about Jedi. In my love journal, and I could show you, I probably will on, I'm sure, one episode, 2 years earlier, I wrote down, I want a Jedi Knight, for like Star Wars metaphor. I'm a Jedi light. I want my Jedi Knight. I work with the Force. I use thought and emotion and universal energy and work with that frequency to create and manifest. And I want my twin flame, my divine partner, to embody the same. I want a Jedi Knight. I wrote that down in my journal, and I had it on my vision board. I cut out a sign, like a little picture from a magazine that said The Jedi, and I had it. It was either on my vision board or in my vision book. And his nickname is Jedi. I couldn't make this stuff up if I tried. Beyond this incredible achievement, it's who I had to become, the transformation I went through, the woman I had to become and rise to and up level to be a vibrational match to this next level love that I desired, craved, and knew I was destined for, was my greatest accomplishment. Who I became in the process, the people I met along the way, the forgiveness, the healing. This version of me, I went on a journey of love that wound up, I'm going to tear up about, I'm going to cry about this. It wound up helping me fall deeper in love with self. And now Dave and I are still together 4.5 years later. And we're so, it's not, our relationship isn't perfect, but we have an evolved, passionate, compassionate, evolved communication, endearing relationship where we're committed, we grow together, we handle things together, we support one another. Again, it's not perfect. There's always growth. Once you manifest that partnership, there's a whole new journey you go on as a divine evolved woman. And so my biggest takeaway for you is that if I can do it, you can do it. If there's one thing I can get you to believe through my story and why I'm so freaking passionate about this, is that love is possible for you. It's not just possible, it's destined for you if you are willing to believe, if you're willing to align with love, if you're willing to incorporate some unconventional things that I have to share, that I've put together. I've reverse engineered, I've taught this to others. Several other women have manifested partnership by using this. If I can get you to just know that love is possible and it's for you, if you're willing to align with your energy, your frequency, and you're willing to let go and release the baggage that's held you back, you absolutely can manifest your partner. I know it's for you. I'm excited for you. Our paths cross for a reason, and I'm so thankful that they did, because I'm so excited to be able to help you with this and support you with this. And I've been on the journey, and I'm still on the journey. So please feel free, leave a comment below. Share with me, what is it you deeply desire with love? What are you manifesting right now? Leave a comment below. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Make sure you click the notification button so you can be notified when I'm posting new videos, and share this video with others. I know there are other badass light leader women like you who you know who are calling in partnership, who know their desire and there is deep for love and they're destined for it. So share this video, spread the love. Also, be sure to stay tuned, because I am launching my brand new Love Attractor program called Manifest, 10 proven steps to call in your man using the ultimate law of attraction. I'm so excited. It's coming soon. Be the first to know so that you can get your copy and get enrolled with all the incredible bonuses, because I literally reverse engineer and give you everything I have on how I called in my partner. Till next time, it's Michele Ariana with Empower Your Love Life. Bye.